welcome back to the Crooked Cauldron YouTube channel. I am your favorite village witch once again, and we are here to do a reading for the season of Ostara and the Spring Equinox. As always, we're going to be going over the kind of energy and correspondence of Ostara and the Spring Equinox, a little bit of history and traditions, lore, all that kind of stuff. And we're gonna dive on into a reading for the collective. Again, these readings of mine are always timeless. So even if you're finding this reading not in the Ostara and Spring Equinox season, more than likely there is a message here for you. But this is a general reading for the collective, so no matter when you're listening to this, there is more than likely something here for everyone, but maybe not everything is for everyone, so take what resonates and just leave the rest. Before we get started, I have just a couple quick announcements. I will be lighting one of my candles from the Crooked Cauldron. I'm going to be kind of going over which one I'm lighting here in a minute. But I also wanted to announce that my Patreon is open and ready for members. There are quite a few tiers that you can sign up for. There's a free tier, paid tiers, candle of the month tier. You get a lot of different goodies for each tier, a little something for everyone. But I really want to go over the candle we will be lighting today. This is from the Smells Like collection. We're doing Smells Like Conjuring a Sweet Treat. There are hints of berries, sugar, and vanilla in this. I was really inspired by just kind of the sweetness of spring to use this during the Spring Equinox reading. This is also the Candle of the Month for March if you sign up for the Candle of the Month tier, which is the highest tier, and you get all the goodies, all the exclusive early access candles sent to you every single month, all a bunch of goodness. I'll do a better video and explanation of it in incoming videos for sure. It's new, so I haven't quite gotten my wording right on here, just kind of winging it here if you can't tell. So this is the Smells Like Conjuring a Sweet Treat candle. Once again, we will be lighting it. It's gonna fill this space with some sweet, yummy amazingness. Each of my candles from the Crooked Cauldron are infused with Reiki energy. You may or may not know that I'm a Reiki master. So when you just have this in the space, even if it's lit or it's not, that Reiki energy can really just infuse with the space around you. So that is what we'll be doing here today. I'm going to get this lit and we're going to get back into the reading here. All right. Oh, and before I forget, before we jump right into it, I wanted you to, if you're watching this on YouTube, this isn't going to be the whole reading. If you're a member of Patreon, I want to say either the Village Gathering tier or the Village Coven tier. There is an extended reading on this. We're gonna get through the cards here on YouTube, and then on Patreon, we're going to get into some runes here, just to really dive even deeper into the Spring Equinox season, see what's in store for us, see how we can really make it the best season ever. So I'll keep that in mind. I'll mention it again towards the end, but why don't we go ahead and jump on in. So every year, Ostara, or the Spring Equinox, falls right around March 20th through the 23rd. The overall themes are balance, renewal, fertility, growth, and awakening. Ostara is the celebration of the Spring Equinox, marking the moment of perfect balance between light and dark before the days grow longer. So it's the time of light and time of darkness that day is of equal balance. It is rooted in pagan, Celtic, and Germanic traditions. Ostara is named after Istra. There's a couple different ways to pronounce it, but I'm going to go with Istra. She is a Germanic goddess of dawn, fertility, and rebirth, often associated with hares and eggs as symbols of renewal. This festival honors the return of life after winter, the fertility of the earth, and the promise of abundance. Just a little bit of lore. Istra and the hare. According to legend, the goddess Istra transformed a bird into a hare, granting it the ability to lay eggs once a year to celebrate the arrival of spring. This myth connects hares, eggs, and fertility with the equinox. And if that sounds at all familiar, you can kind of guess where the Easter Bunny comes from for the Christian version of Ostara and Istra. So, balance of light and dark. As I said, Ostara marks the equal length of day and night, symbolizing time of harmony, transformation, and preparation for growth. The awakening of Earth. Many ancient cultures celebrated spring festivals, including the Romans with Floralia and the Celts with Alban Ealer, which means Earth's light. Some symbols and correspondences. Colors are soft pastels, pink, green, yellow, lavender, bright greens, and sky blue. The element is earth, which is fertility and grounding, as well as air for new beginnings and clarity. Plants, not limited to daffodils, tulips, violets, clover, and honeysuckle. Also not limited to, for the animals of the season, are hares, rabbits, bees, butterflies, and robins. Crystals, rose quartz for love and harmony, citrine for joy and manifestation, moss agate, growth and grounding. Deities, obviously Istra, goddess of fertility and the dawn, Persephone, for rebirth and cycles, Pan, which represents wild energy and nature, and Freya for love, passion, and renewal. Tools for the Ostara season are painted eggs, again hinting towards when Christianity kind of took bits and pieces of this holiday to make it their own. Painted eggs, seeds, floral garlands, altar candles in spring colors. Or you can go with a classic, just good old white candle like I typically do and sell. Shameless plug. Rituals and activities. We have egg magic and blessings. You can decorate eggs with symbols of protection, growth, and fertility. You can bury an egg in the earth as an offering to the land for abundance. A sunrise meditation and renewal intentions. You can watch the sunrise to welcome the balance of light and dark and set new intentions for the season, focusing on personal growth and renewal. Planting and garden blessings. You can plant seeds, herbs, or flowers as a physical representation of new beginnings. Charge seeds with intentions before planting. You can do a sacred spring water ritual. You want to collect fresh spring water or use moon-charged water to bless yourself and your space. And a balance and reflection spell if you practice spell work. You can light a black candle for the dark half of the year and a white candle for the light half of the year, and meditate on what you are releasing and what you are welcoming in. So creatures and folklore of Ostara, hares and rabbits, sacred to Istra, they symbolize fertility, rebirth, and quick manifestation. The green man, a spirit of nature's rebirth, symbolizing the fresh energy of spring. Bees and butterflies, messengers of transformation, pollination, and prosperity. And Jack in the Green, who is a figure of English folklore representing the awakening of nature. So we are going to go ahead and get into these cards. We have a typical 5-card spread, typical of this channel at least. 5-card spread, and I'll be using some Magic the Gathering cards for the some clarification and all that fun stuff. All right. Oh, and I don't think it'll show up on the camera, but we have quite the dancing flame right here, and it's actually splitting. into almost two flames, which that can really be just kind of a nod and validation to the balance of the spring equinox season and Ostara season. It could be that we're coming into balance or we're needing balance. I'll like use that in terms of whatever cards we end up flipping over here. So, all right, let's get through this. So first card we have the Five of Pentacles. Okay. We have Page of Wands in reverse. We have the Hierophant also in reverse. We have a Fool in reverse. Oh my goodness. Okay. And finally, oh friends, we have the Tower. Okay. So let's take this one step at a time. This is a little intense here. So we have the Five of Pentacles first. We have cards trying to fly out already, but let's take a moment here. I think what's happening is that there's a light shedding on our insecurities this spring equinox season, this Ostara season. I think some things might be coming to our attention that we need to work on this season. That's a little rough there. Five of Pentacles typically talks about struggle and insecurity, hardship, poverty. So, ooh, come flying out here. I think these cards really want to talk, so I need to pull one. Let's do this. Ooh, we have gratuitous violence. Oh my. So, I have gratuitous violence here, which is not fun sounding. We have a little quote here that says, "What was supposed to be a quiet time in town turned into an adventure of its own." So, I think there's been a lot of unexpected hardship coming around the collective lately. Yeah, I think we've been kind of sitting in the hardship. It might have taken us for a little bit of a ride, a little unexpected, maybe some unexpected expenses for some of us, just unexpected loss, unexpected hardship. You know, the world is a crazy place right now for sure for many of us. I won't dive into that side of things on my channel really, but with that in mind, I think it's important to, you can't address a problem until you accept the problem or acknowledge the problem. I think that's what is awakening within the collective this spring equinox season. And a lot of times you kind of have to, you got to go through the thick of it in order to you got to get through it to get through it, really, right? So yeah, there's just some hardship coming up, I think. I'm hearing like dual personalities, and then like they said, this flame kind of split into two is really kind of coming in, making itself known intuitively right now as well. So yeah, I think right now, as for the context of the split flame with these two cards here, man, there's really only one way to go but up, even if it seems like there's a lot of different options for us right now to kind of get through this hardship. The only way to go is up. So that's what we really need to focus on right now. This Page of Wands in reverse, I'm going to clarify. Let's clarify this Wands. Page of Wands in reverse. What are you trying to tell us? For the collective or the spring equinox? Ooh, okay. What we got here? We have the deck of many things. All right. The deck of many things. This one came out too, so I'm gonna pull it. Kick in the door. Oh my, there's a lot of, maybe there's just some built up anger going through the collective right now, which is fair. So what do we need to nurture right now? I think just the acceptance of the bad energy, acceptance of feeling a little overwhelmed. Yeah, like this card here says, we tried your way, now we do it my way. I think you really have to listen to your own inner wisdom to get through these hardships coming up. You need to nurture that inner wisdom. You need to nurture that even though there's overwhelm and some bad news and some just not fun times going on right now, I think you need to, we need to step into our power. Like kicking in the door, gratuitous violence. It's very powerful, and I think that's what we need to nurture right now. We're going through some hardship, but we need to realize that we haven't lost our power. What else do we need to nurture right now? My goodness. Yeah, there's a lot of ways you can do things, but I think if we listen to our intuition, if we listen to our wild self, that highest, wisest part of ourself, there's a very clear way to handle these hardships and this tough time right now. And everyone's going to be a little bit different. Obviously, like this being for the collective, obviously this stuff is kind of sounding very general, but that's because it is so subjective and so personal to each of us how we handle this tough time. And you really have to sit down with yourself, and you're gonna have a deck of many things. You have all these different ways of going about a situation, but you need to know what your way is, not what anyone else's way is, but what your way is. And it might be a little going against the traditional way of doing things, is how we kind of bring about that balance and that harmony. You know, the Hierophant's all about traditions, and it being in reverse is kind of the opposite of that. You know, I'm hearing like the wayward path, or like doing it the Maverick's way, like Maverick just being like unorthodox, you know, different, the road less traveled, you know, all these different little like sayings that most of us or all of us have heard at some point in our life. But you gotta think outside the box, and I think get really personal with yourself to kind of figure out the best way to move through the tough times and move through, like I said, I just keep saying hardship over and over again, but that's really what it is. What's going on this spring equinox season, there's some hardship, and it could be different for everyone. A lot of times it's going to be some material goods because we have the Five of Pentacles here, but you know, we also, you know, having the wands, which is fire energy, we have earth energy, we have air energy, we have all the elements here. So this is a very, for being a general reading, this is very personal, right? So we got to do what we got to do to bring harmony back into our lives, to kind of, I mean, hardship is a part of life. And that's why we don't want to bury this. That's why we want to get super personal, and that's why we want to address this. You know, we don't want to sweep it under the rug. We want to get real with ourselves, get personal with ourselves, kick down the door of what's blocking us. You know, gotta figure out your own way of kicking down that door. I hope that makes sense. Let's get a clarification for this Hierophant. Let's clarify. Oop, we're gonna take this guy. Hey, find the path. So, what was I just saying? You gotta find your own way. Everyone is different. I know that's not helpful in a general reading, you know, but maybe as we keep going, we'll uncover some of like the ways to do this. I don't know, but we gotta see what the cards tell us. But not one size does not fit all here, and so you have to find your path. You know, you might be looking online a lot to be like, how do I get through this XYZ situation that I'm in? Let's see what other people are doing, and that's fine. But you have to realize that what works for one person, what works for a group of people, what works for most people might not work for you. And that's fine. That is perfectly fine. But you have to keep going. You have to keep moving forward. Even if it's different, even if it's, you know, even if you're criticized, I could see or like feel that idea too. Like you might be afraid of what other people might think or say to you, going about navigating these tough times for yourself. It might be a little weird, it might be odd, and people will be like, hey, that's bad, I wouldn't do that, and that's fine. They wouldn't do it, but maybe you do need to do it. So yeah, this is a little bit of a rough one, but you know, as I said, tough times are a part of life. This isn't going to be the first time you've gone through a hard time. It's not going to be the last. So you might as well take it, learn from it, and really figure out what works for you. Because there's some power behind here. Like we have, like I said, kick down the door, gratuitous violence. We have all the elements here. So this can be a really big full circle moment for a lot of us, if we just follow the path, if we just listen to ourselves, listen to our needs, listen to where we could use this balance, right? That's all what the spring equinox is all about. So that balance of light and dark. And you got to have the dark to have the light, you got to have the light to have the dark. So that's what we're talking about here. So let's take a look at this Fool in reverse. And there are definitely some blessings coming our way. We're learning from this experience, right? We're getting out of that naivete. We're letting go of being naive. I'm gonna say it like that. You know, every experience can be so powerful, and you can learn from it and you can grow from it. And I think that's what this Fool in reverse is trying to tell us here. You know, the Fool in reverse is all about inexperience and, like I said, being naive and recklessness. And, you know, I don't want, people can take it the wrong way by saying like, we're gonna grow up a little bit, as if like we're children and immature and stuff. But you can grow up at any time. You can be mature, but you can still have some growing up to do, and kind of like an advancing through life. And I think that's what this current experience is going to bring us. When we come out of it, because we will, you just got to go through the motions of finding your path, finding your way of handling it, and you're going to come out such a stronger person. More wherewithal, I'm hearing. You know, you're going to be able to look back at this and be like, that was no big deal. Like, look how far I've come since then. But you don't want to trade that experience for anything, because it taught you what it's going to teach you. So let's get that clarification. I'm going to take this guy. We have a mountain here. What does this quote say? You meant to simply rest in Hundelstone, but the miners have told you stories of whispers in the dark below. So, when you just thought that this was going to be just another crappy, annoying experience, there's a lot more to it. You know, there's the mountain. It's not little. It's not little. It's powerful. Like I said, this is another powerful symbol here. I'm hearing this guy. You're gonna kind of have to move mountains, some of us. It's gonna feel like a lot, and that's fine. But you're also going to be the mountain by the end of it. You're gonna be so strong and so sturdy and so grounded. And honestly, I'm just hearing that this is just a big validation for the spring equinox season, because if you look at a mountain, it's so grounded into the earth, right? But it's also, mountains reach the skies, you know? So I think it really is just a nod to the two elements that represent spring and spring equinox season, and Ostara being earth and air, right? So I just think this is a nod to, we're in the right place, we're on the right track, just gotta move through it. And finally, the tower here. So, I mean, sometimes there's joy and renewal. Oh, there's definitely renewal in the things of breaking down, you know? The tower is the start of the renewal process, and sometimes it sucks. And things have to get broken down in order for them to come back up. And we're in that. And I mean, this might not be for everyone, but like, can you have a little fun in this hard time? Like, you can just kind of take the shit show for what it is and be like, wow, this is a wild ride. This is crazy, but I'm gonna have fun with it. You know, like I said, that might not be for everyone. That's definitely an unorthodox way of doing it. But, you know, can you have a little fun in the destruction? Can you have a little fun in the suckiness? Just something to think about. That might not be for everyone. Looks like this guy wants to come out. So we have a dragon. We have the sky ship stalker. I mean, powerful image, powerful creature. I mean, what better to go with the tower than the dragon, right? So, yeah, this is a pretty intense, pretty powerful spread here. We're gonna have a very interesting Ostara Spring Equinox season, I think. But you know, we're going through it. We're going through the thick of it. We got to get creative. Let's look at, oh, and we have at the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Wands. I think you'll be able to see that on camera. I'm sorry, I can't check right now. We have the Queen of Wands. She's a powerful figure, and she's confident, and she's fiery, and she's passionate. So I'm really hearing like the cleansing fires, right? So you got to move through it. You got to do it. Get creative. Get personal with yourself. Just got a big I don't know if you heard that, but big loud bang confirmation out there. And another dragon, right? So, I mean, this is just plain dragon flying. So, you gotta be the dragon, you gotta destroy. You gotta destroy, and you build back up. This guy came out, let's look at this. You have this soul ring. Lost to time is the artificer's art of trapping light from a distant star in a ring of purest gold. So, I mean, it's funny because this is a captured star, then the star in traditional tarot comes right after the tower. So I'm gonna take that as a pretty powerful symbol, actually. Renewal is coming. We don't see it yet, probably. Gotta go through those cleansing fires, you know? There's some adaptability that needs to be here. Like I said, adapt to who you are and how you handle hardship. How do you get through tough times? What haven't you tried to get through these tough times? You know, look at your own personal situation on a very personal level. And we can move through it, come out stronger, better. Do that song. Stronger, better, faster, something. But we can do it. We can do it. And we have hope of the star, or the power of the star. Power of 2 dragons of the mountain, kicking down a door, gratuitous violence. It's a lot. But just one step at a time, and maybe try not to get overwhelmed. Try not to get too overwhelmed. You know, I'm hearing that I want to pull one more tarot card just as for a final message. I'm going to leave her right here. Let's get a final message for the collective for Spring Equinox season. Final messages. Let's see. Maybe Easter wants to come in for a message. We'll see. Oh, these cards are... Okay, we have the 3 of Wands here. So, we gotta prepare. We're preparing, we're planning. We're being open and honest with ourselves, right? Yep. All right, I think I'm gonna leave that here. We're gonna move into the extended version. You can be a part of my Patreon and listen to what else the runes have to tell us. It's gonna be fun. So if not, no worries. And keep watching these readings on YouTube. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.